And welcome into this reading. So I just actually finished reading not too long ago. I took a little walk to reground myself, and I felt called to put on my Pandora music, but I don't have Pandora on this device, so I just put on the Amazon Music playlist on shuffle just to see what messages my guides had for me in terms of songs, because my guides speak very clearly to me through the songs, through the titles, through the lyrics, through the feelings that come out from those songs. And even though the last message that I did was unexpectedly about love and soulmates, it feels like my guides want me to continue speaking about love. Okay, so before I even listened to any music, I did visit a little bakery in town, and I noticed that the song that they had playing on their radio station was actually one of my favorite songs by Keen, called Everybody's Changing, and I haven't been able to get that song out of my head since I visited that bakery this morning. So it feels like there's a shift, and it might be that the shift might be that Venus has now gone direct. Venus was in retrograde, and again, I'm not going to pretend like I'm an astrologer, but I do get those little updates on my Instagram from different actual professional astrologers. And Venus going direct means that we've sort of done wow, and there are so many seagulls that all just took flight at the same time, like right in front of me, and it's very wow. It feels like there was a release of, right, or at least energetically, there's supposed to be a release of things that don't serve us to make room for love, to open up love. And so what I got from all those seagulls is plenty of fish in the sea. There's so many opportunities coming towards you for love. But obviously spirit, because of the way that they are and how awesome that they are, your spirit guides are particularly trying to drive you in a specific direction to meet up with that soulmate of yours, or to meet up with that particular love interest of yours that's going to help you expand. Wow, okay, and then even more interesting, I just have my tripod here on a bunch of my decks, and I never noticed on one of these decks it says, "Dear Past, thank you for the lessons." And so it feels very strongly like because Venus is now gone direct, because we went through that kind of turbulent, difficult time of releasing pain and releasing negative emotions, releasing blocks to self-worth, blocks to accepting love and receiving love in our lives. It feels like we can now say thank you for those lessons and move forward, valuing ourselves and not going in search of the perfect partner, but sitting in that Empress energy and allowing that perfect partner to be attracted to us because it's who we are, and because we are now magnetic and we are living in our truth. We are living in our self-esteem. We know our value, and we are radiating the energy of love because we love ourselves and we love our lives. Okay, so if that sounds like something that you've gone through recently, good for you for doing that work. This message might be for you. Okay, what's interesting is I picked up my signs deck to see who this might be for, and this card was left behind, so this might be for a Sagittarius. But the songs, and I clicked next a bunch of times on Amazon Music because I was just like, what the heck is going on? These are all about love. The first title was Insatiable. It was by a bunch of people who I've never heard of before, which is the main reason I clicked off of it, because it was a very different genre than I'm used to. But the song that actually came through was Robin Thicke's Insatiable. Okay, and that's like an older 90s song that as a child definitely should not have been listening to. But yeah, the 90s were a different time, right? So you might want to go listen to that song, because there's something about this soulmate that you're attracting, that's coming into your life, that the bond between you and the love that you share it will be an insatiable type of love. It doesn't matter how much time you spend with this person, it won't be enough. You'll want to be spending as much time as you can. And what's interesting is I looked over at this card, And what jumped out to me is 1122, which is a very doubly type of number, right? Not doubly, but you know what I mean. And Sagittarius as well has at its core of the word 2 T's. So that this is, even though I wasn't intending it to be a love reading, that we are absolutely talking about love in some way. Okay, what I was actually intending for this reading to be is about crystal energies that you can work with. Okay, so before we get started in that, let me just continue with the other songs that came through. Falling or Flying by someone named Georgia Smith. Honeymoon Avenue by Ariana Grande. And then when I finally decided to stop skipping because every song had love in the title, Drunken Love by Beyonce was the last one. And so any of those songs you might want to listen to, there might be messages in there for you, but maybe even just being aware of them, being aware of these songs will sort of help you to shift into that attracting who you need, that love that you need into your life type of energy, because it's definitely present. And that's definitely what spirit guides want to talk about right now. Okay, so just to get a little bit more confirmation and clarity on who this message might be for, yeah, we have fire signs here. Leo, Aries, and Sag. Is that Capricorn? Yeah, and Capricorn. Which again, 12/22. I even said this in my last message. I started my last message at 12/22. I started this message at 111, or not 111, at 111. So the numbers 11 and 22, which often have to do with some sort of relationship connection, right? Have to do with another person, are very prevalent, even in just the signs that are coming out here. Okay, very, very interesting. So you might be a fire sign, or you might be an earth sign connecting with a fire sign. Wow. And then Leo at the bottom with 8/22. Yeah, we are definitely talking. I'm talking to a fire sign who might be connecting with a fire sign. I'm sorry, with an earth sign. Okay, but I will say this because it feels more like an all signs reading, besides with just very heavy fire placements, very heavy earth placements. Just bear in mind, keep in mind that we all embody and express all signs regardless of what's in our chart, right? We all have a little bit of Virgo in us. We all have a little bit of Scorpio in us. It's just when we are sitting in those energies the strongest and how we choose to embody and express them. Yeah, so I just want to say that. So we are clearly talking about love, but let's go ahead and grab Prism Oracle. Starting with the Prism Oracle, just a couple of cards to see the strongest energies. This is going to be a crystal focused reading. The intention with this reading is to get you a couple of recommendations around crystals that can help you embody this energy of love, that embody your own personal energy for self-worth, and to attract the soulmate, or attract romance, attract love and partnership into your life. Okay, but let's just go ahead and see where we're at. Okay, that's beautiful. So I asked for the strongest energies right now, and I can certainly attest to this. Even though there's a lot of things going on in my life personally, I felt a very strong energy of peace around lately. And when there hasn't been peace, that's what I've seeked, or that's what I've been seeking, is to restore balance and restore peace however I can. Okay, and in some aspects of life, you know, you just have to sort of go with it. But anything that you can control, especially your emotions and your thoughts, that's where I've been defaulting to peace lately, or at least trying to establish more of that in my life. Okay, so this might also be a reflection of how you're feeling. Even if everything's not perfect in your life right now, you are still finding moments of peace, or sitting in the energies of peace as much as you can. Is there anything else? Yeah, happiness. Wow. Okay, that's beautiful. The way, and even the way that that came out. Okay, and I take stop at the bottom to say stop using this deck. Really beautiful sort of confirmation. So maybe if you're not in these energies just yet, this is what's coming for you, or this is what you're being encouraged to sit in, the energies of peace and happiness. Okay, and then what I also just understood from this is that my guides, your guides, are going to try and bring forth crystals and crystal energies that you can sit and work with to bring about more of this peaceful and happy energy. Because actually one of my favorite readers posted a video today, or actually it might have even been yesterday, but it spoke about, and that's the channel Soulful Revolution. Amazing MJ is just like always tuned in and always has the best way to sort of express things and put things in a way that you can understand it without being insulted or without feeling attacked, or so that you can just put that advice and that energy to use in the best way. And one of the things that she said that sort of struck me the other day was you can't manifest from a broken heart. Okay, so the idea of having peace in your heart, having happiness in your heart, will allow you to manifest and attract and bring in this love, this insatiable love, this honeymoon feeling, this drunken love energy that is obviously present and what Spirit wants to talk about today. Okay, so let's go right into the crystals now. It's been a while, and I actually could tell when I picked up the deck that they were a little frustrated with me for not working with this crystal deck in so long. Okay, I had packed up a lot of my stuff and just tried to reorganize my surroundings, and in doing so I put, you know, this deck and a bunch of other decks away, and it's very clear to me that the crystals want to come out and speak today. Okay, so spirit guides, angels, divine healed ancestors, what are the strongest crystal energies to help us attract love and sit in the energies of peace and happiness, please, for whoever is watching this message and whoever might come across this message in the future? Thank you. Moonstone. Okay, yeah, feel that. What else? Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Excuse my language, but that is crazy. The message before this, I spoke about how Labradorite had been making itself known to me very frequently, and even in that message I even showed some of the Labradorite stones that I've been carrying or had around me, or that have been wanting to sort of be used. And I even said in that message that Labradorite is in the same family as Moonstone, and both of these stones have to do with trusting your intuition, but also, and I think what the message here is, seeing the magic in the everyday, seeing the magic in that happenstance meeting with this soulmate, in that happenstance encounter as you're at the supermarket with somebody who like bumps into you or drops something in front of you, and then you end up dating them, and that is the person you marry. It's that sort of magic and wonder and synchronicity that I'm getting very strongly from these cards. But it's also, I'm being called, whoa, excuse me, sorry. There was a wasp that just flew in my face. That just gave me chills all over my body. Hello. I'm really getting strongly that there is, when you find this peace, you might also have cleared a path for more of a direct line of communication with your angels and guides, for you to receive spiritual, energetic, psychic wisdom with even greater clarity and even greater ease. And opening up that side of you, opening up that channel, also allows you to what the heck was that? Also allows you to tune into other people's energy and use your discernment in that regard as well. Why did that message want to come out? Very interesting there. Oh, because there's a balance that's needed. Okay, so as we've healed past things that have kept our heart close, as we've healed self-worth and value traumas, little dramas that happened in high school that have us thinking about relationships in a certain way. You might feel this expansive energy in your heart center, in your chakra, in your heart chakra, that's allowing you to attract the one you love, right? Your soulmate, or just even spread the energies of love more broadly. But it also, what I'm getting from this is there needs to be a sort of sense of balance, and that wasp just came back into my face. There needs to be a sort of sense of balance, because as you put out these vibes of being open to love, being an expression and an embodiment of love, that's not the only thing that you're going to attract. Okay, so you sort of need to have that discernment, have that intuition and inner awareness of, this person is coming off as this way, but they might not be for my highest good. Move along, you know, or wait for the right person to come across. And then the reason I said balance is I can see here this Labradorite face. She looks incredibly peaceful. She looks like she's meditating, like she's gone within. But can you see these two blue stones that this bigger one is in between? It almost feels like it almost feels like there needs to be a sense of peace and balance in order for you to view things from a less logical perspective and a more magical, mystical, attracting what you need sort of perspective. Very big trust in your magic, trust in your intuitions, trust in the divine, with a balance, or with a sense of balance, with a healthy sense of balance. Okay, that's interesting. What just came through is the person you're attracting, or whatever this love situation is, they might not be the type of person physically or even just energetically that you would normally but that you would normally see as a partner or see as your ideal person. So there might even need to be a little bit of balancing there in terms of your expectations, right? Everybody wants, well, not everybody, but some people want Brad Pitt, right? But that's not who is really going to make them happy. That's not who's going to really fulfill them energetically. Very interesting here. So to bring about these energies of peace, to bring about an inner calmness so that you can receive the clearest information from your intuition, from your psychic downloads, from your guides, you can work with Moonstone. In particular, Rainbow Moonstone that has this beautiful blue flash will be helpful to people seeking that peace. And then to fully embody your magic, to fully embody and appreciate the happenstance and the mystery and the synchronicity of the universe, and to allow more of that energy, that really mystical, like you can't even make it up, like mystical energies and happiness energies, right? Joy when these synchronicities and these miracles happen in your life. You can work with Labradorite to develop more of that, okay? Not only that, but it feels like, I'll show this. Labradorite is often favored for its flash, right? But you have to hit the light at a certain angle in order for that flash to be fully recognized and fully on display. And so there's something about the energy that you are sitting in, the energies that you're sitting and balancing in between, will allow the light to hit you in the right way to allow you to flash and shine your true brilliance, your true beauty, your true love and expression of self. Oh, that's what it is. It's an expression of self. Thank you. Okay, so Moonstone is bringing you peace and clarity and trust in the information that you're receiving, while Labradorite is helping you build that magic and then be a true reflection of that magic and of that happiness that sits within you once you find this piece. Okay, so definitely two stones that you can work with. I'm getting right now through this new moon period that'll be really, really helpful for you to embody. I keep saying magic, but these mystical elements. Okay. I'm also noticing here we have 37, which adds to 10, and 29, which adds to 11. So there's a progression here. And as I started this message with 11s and 22s everywhere, we are absolutely still, even the way that the cards happen to lay out with like a pair, this is almost like a marriage altar. It's like the union of two people coming together to have this peace and happiness in that union. That's the progression. That's the way things are going. 10 being the number of completing a cycle, and 11 now being a new cycle beginning, but together in union with another person. That seems very, very significant. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. And I don't often bring these cards out. Oh, I didn't clear the space, but that's okay. It feels nice. And I have my incense going as well. But I don't often bring these cards out because to me, they're very sacred. The messages within them are very poignant and very on point for when they need to be heard. So I don't like to overuse them or use them as much as some of these other decks. Also, there are less cards in this deck, so not that some of these other cards the messages come out over and over again, but I don't know, there just feels like there's more of an importance and a sacredness around this. This deck is called the Crystal Medicine Oracle by Rochelle Sharman, and I will actually read from the book, or at least pieces of the book for whatever card comes out here. But just to close your message out, let's go ahead and see. We already have Moonstone and we already have Labradorite as two crystal energies or crystals that you can work with to help you attract and embody love, attract and embody more intuition and clarity, magic and mysticism within your life. But what else? In terms of crystal medicine, thank you, right away. Ancestral healing, oh wow. This is the first card in the deck, and it's amber. Tree, ancestral healing, and can you see that DNA helix, that spiral up at the top? Wow, holy message. Okay, so what's coming through here is you can use these two stones to return to your original form, to your innate and original wisdom. And this is a big card for me because I often speak about, and now there's a word for it. I saw it on Instagram recently, when the light shines through trees, that dappled light. I wish I could remember it. But basically, I speak about how that dappled light is incredibly healing. There's something about the green hue that comes through. There's something about the fractals that are formed in the leaf shapes that bring us back to center, but bring us back to who we innately are, our innate being, as bigger than this 3D manifestation, but in spirit, in cosmic wisdom, in cosmic essence. Okay, so what's coming through here is with amber, what I often think about, what people often associate with amber, is the idea of, bugs being trapped in the amber, and that's really cool and all that stuff. But in order for that to happen, that sap needed to capture whatever, it dripped on, and then it quite literally took hundreds of thousands of years for it to solidify beyond the state of just softness into this crystal or this rock that we call amber, right? It needs to age a certain way. And what's very interesting about this is I'm getting the idea of having to go backwards to move forwards, and the idea that Venus retrograde was that for a lot of people. We had to go backwards within ourselves. We had to look into our history. We had to look at not just the wounds that might be impacting us from our current life, but even from past lives, wounds that might be impacting our ancestral bloodline, okay, that might be impacting our family bloodline. Look at them, bring up whatever those emotions and that pain is. Wow, I just noticed in the bark there are all these faces. Those are all the ancestors. Bring it in, bring up those emotions, bring up those wounds, bring up that pain so that it can be released. And in doing so, because of the time, there's something about this time, astrologically, yes, but just in general, that will allow our DNA to quite literally be upgraded. The healing here that has taken place over the last couple months, but in this period of retrogrades and in this period of, what are they called? Eclipses. It's doing a deep healing that's not just at the surface. It's quite literally upgrading the way that our body is formed. Wow. To move away from, okay, I understand. To move away from lack mentality, to move away from chaos, to move out of sadness, to move out of depression and move towards peace on the planet, peace and happiness amongst people. And this healing is like, it has to go down into the roots in order for it to go back up to the canopy and then sort of be broadcast and seen and have the sun and the light shown on it. And I'm not saying that, you know, that insect that's trapped in the amber is now freed, but whatever healing has taken place or is taking place is sort of like a momentary melting of the amber where that insect is, to allow it to shift position or to allow it to be completely freed from that stickiness, from being held in that position. Okay, so whatever energies might have been trapped with these insects in this amber is now being released. Okay, and the reason that this card came out is to encourage people to work with amber, to connect back to their ancestral lineages, to connect to divine ancestors that are healed or have received healing as a result of the work that you've done over this last Venus retrograde period. Ooh, again with the spotted lanternfly landing on my chest. You've done some healing for yourself, but I don't think you realize how it's going to impact your family and your bloodline moving forward, and how it's freed some of these people who are stuck in this bark. It's allowed them to move forward as well, because as above, so below, right? As above, so below. And right now in this instance, we are below. We are on the third dimension, right? But if we do healing here at this level, it allows even more growth and healing to occur at higher levels. So there's a certain level of pride and appreciation from your ancestors coming in very strongly here for the work that's been done. And while that wasn't the intention to bring that message forward, wasn't the intention of this message, it was more to allow you to, you know, learn about some crystals that you could use. That seems like a very strong message that wants to come through. And then what's also interesting here is I just got returning to the one source, returning to the one force. So you may have released whatever you released, allowed ancestors to be released in some way, to continue whatever their mission is and continue their journey in whatever realms that they occupy. But what's interesting here is we have 10 and we have 11. 10 plus 1 is 11. It feels very complete. And okay, wow, even here, it feels like this is what's going on here with the Moonstone is on the spiritual level, on the 5D. And what's going on here in the Labradorite is on this 3D level. And it's all about bringing peace to all levels, so that happiness at all levels and healing at all levels can take place. And it's interesting that amber would be the stone or the crystal to come out here because, okay, thank you, bird, in the background for your confirmation chirps. But it feels interesting that amber would come out here because it is often associated with reducing inflammation, right? With reducing pain. So that golden light, that golden energy of amber is what is allowing the opposite of peace, the opposite of happiness, to be transmuted back to and into that golden light and that golden energy. Wow. Okay, so this was way deeper than I was expecting and way longer than I was expecting. But this is all coming back to love and expressing love and expressing and having peace and happiness in your life. So to tie it all together, you can absolutely rely on Moonstone. You can absolutely rely on Labradorite. And if you don't have amber, you might be encouraged to grab a piece of amber to use in your meditations to connect to this ancestral line. Maybe even using amber and Moonstone together to connect to the spirits of your ancestors and understand just how you've brought them peace, or just how they can bring peace to you with whatever messages they want to share here. But it's very clear to me that there's been a healing towards peace and happiness that is at a frequency level, upgrading our DNA and upgrading what we're capable of in terms of the energies, upgrading what we're capable of embodying and holding. And in terms of human evolution, that we're always moving towards being able to hold higher vibrational light, hold higher vibrational energies within our body and be an expression of those things. And it absolutely feels like whatever this process is that is been completed or about to be complete, it will allow us all to embody and reflect more high vibrational light, love, and peaceful energies of happiness and joy on this planet. And what we are able to individually embody and express thereby helps the collective as well. Thereby even helps the planet. Wow. Okay. That's an intense message. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider giving it a like or a comment below. Share it with somebody who might also feel, or you might feel like they might get something from it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please consider subscribing. Okay. If this is where we part, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.